Good morning. Strawberries. Love strawberries. It's almost time. There's a place near here called Ball Play, and around the middle of April you can go there and pick strawberries. They just have huge fields of well-kept strawberry plants, and I go with my sister. She buy her about 10 to 12 buckets of them, and she puts them up, and her and her family eats on them all year. But I help her pick, and the reason I do it is while I'm picking, I can eat them. When they have some almost as big as your fist. I mean, they're so sweet. Picked straight off the vine. But what I want to talk about is what Christ himself said about eternal punishment. And I think the most famous verse is Matthew 25:46. Jesus uses the word kolasis for punishment, and it denotes a punishment that produces improvement. Now there is another word, aidion, which means endless punishment, but kolasis has a limited duration in this verse by the use of the word aionion, which King James translates everlasting. But the word aionion actually means a limited or temporary time, and you can find that all through the biblical writings, plus writings of the contemporaries of Jesus' time. That word aionion or aionius always had a limited time. You can find this in the writings of Josephus or several other writers that were alive when the apostles were writing. To change what Jesus said into what the Pharisees taught is what most Christians today do. The Pharisees taught an endless punishment. They brought that teaching from some of the outside philosophers and some of the Jewish writings that had been infiltrated by heathens, pagans. And to say those words, Jesus would have been teaching a vindictive or retributive teaching, and he didn't use those words. He always used words which was talking about correction or improvement. I believe the minds of men, when between the time the original writings were written and the books were canonized, they were teaching traditions of men and stories that were passed down. All they had at that time was the Old Testament. The Old Testament didn't teach any kind of eternal punishment. People today, many YouTubers you watch talk about the trimming of the vine and the trimmings being burnt. The trimming was always for improvement. That's the reason Jesus relates to this trimming. It's for improvement, not a vindictive trimming. even the good branches are trimmed. I believe people's hearts today is so visible. You can follow, like on YouTube, you can follow these people that preach eternal torment and hell. Go to some of their comments where if you ever go against their beliefs or their teachings, then they bombard you with vile comments. They won't curse or anything like that, but they will. And they'll block you. They'll tell you you're not a Christian, that you're a non-believer, you're an atheist. They call you any number of things because you go against their vindictive teachings of torment. People say, well, you can go to eastward, and the word in that verse, Matthew 25:46, punishment, it means torment in the Strong's. Strong's is giving you a definition of what the King James Scripture says. It's not giving you the definition of what the original word, kolasis, chastisement, means. It means chastisement. You look up chastisement, correction. It's limited in duration. So yeah, I'm kind of afraid. I don't fear these Christians that teach this, but I stay away from them because they are definitely showing me their fruits. Time for another strawberry.